Well, hello everybody. It is now time for Gramps interview, and this week we have got someone special. It's from North California, the San Francisco Bay Area, I believe, and it is the Morning Rooster himself, and that is Coach Eli. Welcome, Coach Eli.
Ha 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 ha! Hey, did my sound go through?
Yes, it did. That was brilliant. That was. I really enjoyed that. I'm just seeing if I can do that. So we've got two viewers in. We've got the Night Owl, hello Keith, and Travel in Belgium. So, Coach Eli, could you tell us a bit about yourself? Because I have been watching some of your videos.
Yeah, for some reason my screen is frozen here.
Yeah, that's better.
There we go.
Yeah, yeah,
There I am.
yeah. It's because I put the thing down. Because when you put it down, it alters it, doesn't
Oh,
it?
oh yeah, Eagle VP. Sorry, 1 second. My audio is a little bit off sync. Give me just 1 second, and I will fix that, and I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, can hear you perfect now.
Okay, that should be better and in sync right now. Sorry about that. So we should be good to go. So I apologize. What was your first question?
I says, could you tell us a bit about yourself, please, Eli?
Okay, well, I'm
Oh.
44 years old. I live in the San Francisco Bay Area in beautiful and expensive Northern California. You would certainly pay the price to live here. I was born and raised here by two Greek immigrant parents that came to the U.S. In the early 70s. I was born in 1973, and I've had a pretty good life. Had a great upbringing. My mother and my father were happily married for over 35 years until my father passed away 9 years ago. All of a sudden, at the age of 76. Um, and I've been to private school my entire life. I worked in the corporate world for 16, almost 17 years, primarily in the retail sector.
Yeah.
And pretty much that's a start right there. Do you want me to get into specifics, or just kind of give a general synopsis of
Well,
where I've been?
a general synopsis of what you've done, because I believe you're 44 years of age.
Yes, I'm 44. Basically, I worked in the retail sector in the corporate world for almost 17 years. Back in This was right before 2008 when the economy crashed. I got laid off my job, and I couldn't find a job that would offer me the pay that I'd been making. So I decided to leave the corporate world. I had money saved up in the bank, and I decided to become an entrepreneur. And at that point, I used some friends that were in the insurance industry, and I decided to get my insurance licenses. Went back to school, got my insurance licenses, and been a successful insurance broker for the past 10 years. Now, I'm still an active insurance broker to this day, but I'm not currently selling. I'm just taking care of my current clients because I get what's called residual income
Yeah.
when people renew their policies through me. So that's a little bit about that. And about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, I got out of a relationship with a lady that I thought was going to be my soulmate. And she ended up cheating on me out of the blue. I didn't see it coming. And that lit a fire. That lit a fire to the point of where I wanted to do something to help prevent people go through that, and help people, become what they really want to become in life. Whether it's an entrepreneur, whether it's get their corporate dream job, whether it's have that successful dating relationship or marriage. I wanted to help people, dissect things properly, and that way they understand what they're up against in today's modern world, which is why I started my coaching business, and that leads us to where we're at today. where I started my YouTube channel about a year and a half ago, Coach Eli, Uncompromising Business and Personal Relationship Coaching. So that's like the summary right there. I'm sure we're going to get into some detail, but I don't want to go off on too much more of a tangent. It's your show.
Yeah. So,
thank you for having me.
yeah. So, how long have you been on YouTube then, Coach Eli?
I started my YouTube channel last March of 2017, so it's been about a year and a half now. And let me tell you, it's been a struggle growing with the new algorithm. It's been a big struggle. You can do everything right on YouTube today, and it still just takes time to penetrate it. So about a year and a half.
Yeah, because I've been on. I started in 2007, and it wasn't until just over about the same time as you, about a year and a half ago, that I started pushing my YouTube channel, and I've grown. About a year and a half ago, I had about 300 subscribers, and I've built it up to 2,065, I think now, somewhere around there. For the simple reason is that I have started working on it a little bit more because it is hard work. But the only problem is as you know, hello Granny and Gemma Grace and the Night Owl Pixies, Jeanette Pickering. I'm just saying hello to them all because I've just got the chat up. So I have been working on it, but I'm not sub for sub. If I like a channel, I'll go over and support that channel, and I try to support. I've got 1,200 subscribers who I subscribe to or thereabouts, and I try to watch all their videos at least once a week when they upload. So watching yours, because I met you through the I Am a Creator hashtag I Am a Creator community, and I thought that you had a good philosophy on how to grow your channel. And since you've started the hashtag I Am a YouTuber, I've joined yours, I've made a playlist, and hopefully we'll grow together. Because there's a lot of people in the hashtag I Am a Creator community who are doing really sub for sub.
Correct.
And I don't agree with that. I think no one should be forced to support your channel. I don't like the donation bit, because people are being pushed into making donations, and I don't agree with that. If people want to donate, they'll donate.
Would you like me to address my thoughts on that?
Yeah, please, yeah, because I know you've got some strong thoughts on that, Eli.
Oh, I have very strong thoughts, and I have very strong convictions regarding all aspects of life because I genuinely care about people. Eagle VP.
Yeah. My name's Keith, by the way, Eli.
What's that?
My name's Keith.
Oh, Keith. Okay, yeah. So I didn't know if you wanted me to.
Oh yeah. Or Keith, Gramps, or anything like that. Don't worry me at all. So sorry I interrupted you.
No, that's okay. It's your show, and I respect you. I know when we talked privately, you mentioned that people call you Gramps, but I have so much love and respect for you, man. I don't think I can call you that. I think I can call you a good friend.
Yeah. Oh no, you can
call branding, man. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, you can call me Gramps because I'm 68 years old, so I appreciate anybody calling me Gramps. Oh, we've got Paul 007 Vauxhall. Hello, Paul, and Granny Monster. I made somewhat of a statement on that today, Keith. Oh, good. I'll have a look on that, Granny, if it's on. And Foundation Ariel, Brian. Sorry, carry on, Coach.
No, I was going to say, and this. I'm not trying to butter you up on your show, but you look very good for your age. You remind me a lot of my father, who looked very good for his age. Even when he passed away at 76, he always looked about 15, 20 years younger than his age. So you take good care of yourself, man. So I don't think I can call you Gramps, but if anybody else wants to, it says branding, feel free. You're like a buddy to me. So, but my strong convictions regarding what's happening with James Cox and the I Am a Creator community. Look, I'm not here to bash James Cox. I'm not here to bring anybody down. I know there are a lot of people on this stream that supports you through that community. And I'm not here to kick them down. Angel Dominguez in here. I haven't seen her around my channel in a while, and I assume that has to be because of the fact of what's been going on between James and I. But I'm not here to hurt anybody. I'm here to help people. And the realistic fact it's Keith. You said Keith, right?
Yeah, it's Keith. Yeah.
Keith. The real honest truth, Keith, is that look, when you go to James Cox's streams, if you go there to connect with people, okay, and then after you connect with them, let's say you support them, they support you, which is a fancy way of saying subscribe to one another. If you reach out and collaborate with each other and do a live stream like you and I are doing here today, or do a collaboration video, then that is not sub for sub. That is called networking,
Yeah.
and that's what YouTube wants. But if you go out there and just say, I support you, support me back, that's sub for sub, because you're not doing anything beyond that. You don't want to ask for support back, because that's the same thing as saying, I'm subscribing to you, subscribe back to me. You want to reach out to people and say, hey, look, I saw your channel. I really like what you're doing. I feel that we could work together on something. Let me know if you're interested. I am now supporting your channel. Okay?
Yeah.
In other words, you're telling them, I have subscribed to you. Okay? And if you want to get to know me, let me know. And if you check out my channel, it's something that's unsaid. If you check out my channel and you feel we can work together, you might subscribe to me. And there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is the majority of the people on James's streams are not doing it the right way. And it's very hard to moderate. No matter what you say, it's very hard to moderate. But let's just take the fact that people are growing, for example. Okay, people are growing. They're getting to 1,000+ subscribers. How many views are these people getting from those subscribers? How much watch time are they getting? James is saying, go watch, their video all the way through. Give them a like and share it on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
He's forcing people to go do that. Now, if I don't like a video, doesn't mean I don't like the actual person. Let's say I like you, Keith, and I like most of your content, but you put out a video that doesn't resonate with me. I'm not going to watch it. That doesn't mean I don't like you. It just means I'm not interested in that particular video. So you can't sit there and force me to watch something that I don't enjoy, because that's not natural. So I think trying to help people, reach their numbers through artificial growth. An example in this case, artificial watch time, is going to hurt people more so in the long run, even if they reach their numbers, at this point. Does that make sense to you? Or
yes, it does. Yeah, because this is it. That because I'm the age I am, I'm not interested in numbers. I'm not interested in the money. I'm interested in people enjoying my content, what I put up, because that's what it's all about. YouTube, really, it's about the content that you put up. If people enjoy it, they'll come back to your channel. And
right.
I've been a salesman. I've had my own video business since 1988. I packed in nearly 10 years ago. I used to do weddings, christenings, parties, commercial work, and everything like that. And in business, people buy off friends. So if you can make a friend of somebody, they will stick with you. And that's what you tried to do in this world, in the YouTube community. If you can make a friend of somebody who you are supporting, get to know them. That's why there's a lot of channels now that are doing interviews with other channels, because it's a form of collaboration. You're getting to know each other, you find out about each other, and you can work together, on projects, because that's what I would love to do, is work together with people on different projects, because with the creativity of a lot of people out there, we could, like Ridley Scott, he made that Day in a Life. I don't know whether you ever saw that film, did you?
I did not, actually.
Yeah, he asked YouTubers to record their day in their life, a 24-hour day, and he got that many YouTubers to film. He made a movie out of it. It is up on YouTube. It's about an hour and a half long, and you ought to see that. And that has been a collab with millions of YouTubers who did that for Ridley Scott. So why can't somebody else do that in our community? Because Uh, there must be script writers out there. There must be storyboard tellers. There's a lot of good cameramen or camera women out there that we could do some sort of documentary or some sort of feature film as a community.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you, Keith. And here's the thing: you mentioned about donations. Here's the thing: I don't have a problem with people reaching or with people getting donations if you're transparent about where the money's going to. The problem is, when someone makes it sound like the donations are going to go somewhere else besides in their pocket to fund their lifestyle.
Yeah.
That's where I disagree. And what I don't think James Cox. I can't be 100% sure, but I really don't think he's trying to deceive the people. He's just not sharing the whole story. James Cox wants to quit his job and basically do I'm a creator full time. That means he needs to replace an income that he's making maybe $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year. And that's not easy to do on YouTube.
No.
In order to do that, you've got to get a lot of donations. You've got to get a lot of super chats. You need people to sign up on your Patreon for monthly donations. And here's the thing: it's not guaranteed. People can pull away at any time.
Yeah.
So you've got to be very sure that you're making things happen. On another note, okay, what people don't realize is the more time you spend on James Cox's channel, he's monetized.
Yeah.
He's getting a monetized playback every time you go there. He's getting a ton of watch time, which really doesn't matter because he's already monetized. So it's not about watch time for him. It's about views. And those views are monetized playbacks, meaning he's making ad revenue the more people are on there. Why do you think he wants to get 100, 200, 1,000 people on his live streams? Because every time you go on there, you see an ad.
Yeah.
And then it's a monetized playback. The more people there, that's another revenue stream.
Yeah.
The more super chats he gets, that's another revenue stream. The more PayPals he gets, it's another revenue stream. Okay, and any way you look at it, in order for him to do this full time, he needs to make enough money to fund his own lifestyle and also invest back into the I Am a Creator business. And I just don't see it sustainable at this point. I don't see what he's doing sustainable long term, solely based on the fact that you cannot force people to watch each other's videos just to gain artificial watch time.
Yeah.
It is not organic growth.
No.
That's why I feel it's going to implode. I'm not trying to kick the man down. I'm stating the facts. Mark my words. 6 months to a year from now, the I Am a Creator community is going to implode, whether you believe it or not. And those people right now that are unsubscribing from me and others that have gone against James's, mission are going to look back a year or two from now when my channel is 500,000 subs and other people like you are at 500,000 subs, and then they're going to come back and say, "Oh, Coach Eli, oh, Keith Eagle VP, oh, I'm so sorry, you're at 500,000 subs and James Cox is no longer around. Do you mind if we join you at that time?" And how do you think we're going to feel when you didn't support us when we were at 1,500 subs, let alone 500,000? How are we going to feel about that, Keith? What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I think that's right. Because I mean, all right, I'm still a member, or I still take part in the live streams on there. Vane, I like Vane. I'm going to hope to get him on. I'm hoping to get James Cox on because I respect their channels. Yeah. He's never replied, so don't worry.
I've tried to get that guy forever. He keeps making excuses.
Yeah.
He says he supports other people, but all he does is live stream all day, every day. And if you live stream at the same time he does, you get no traction. Everyone goes to his place for sub.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I agree on that. But I think your way is better. I think the hashtag I Am a YouTuber community. I don't know how many members we've got now in that, but I can see it growing because of your enthusiasm for it. The way you conduct your live streams with having people on, not just for 5 minutes. And the thing is, I know you have your donation bar at the bottom going along, scrolling along, but you never ask for donations. That's the bit that really impresses me because if people want to donate, that's it. But you should never ask for donations. And as you said, donations should be made, and the money that you receive, you should be telling people where that money's going to.
Right. I totally agree with you. I
So
completely agree with you. And here's the thing: I don't force people to come on my channel. I don't force them to be a part of hashtag I am a YouTuber. You know, if you want to come by my channel, I will put you on. And I'll put you on for 30 minutes, an hour, so we can get to know you. There's no way you can get to know somebody within the heart and soul in 5 minutes.
no,
Look, when you go onto the channel and you say, "Come get your 5 minutes of fame and let's roll the numbers," it's more than just the numbers. Yes, the numbers matter, but what matters initially to drive people to want to stick to your channel is the emotional connection. And you cannot build an emotional connection in 5 minutes. You
yeah,
need to hear the person's story, okay? And you need to address that story and put it out there to your followers, so that way they get exposed to your network.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so for me, it's not about getting as many people on as possible and only giving them 5 minutes. It's about what, giving everyone a fair chance and give them half an hour to hear their story, because the story is what I buy into. I don't buy into the numbers. I don't care if you have 1,000 subs, 100 subs, or 1,000,000 subs.
yeah.
Okay, if I don't buy into your story, I'm not going to support you.
No, no, that's it. And I mean, I follow a lot of big channels on my channel, uh, and I've asked no end of those to come on my interviews because I enjoy meeting them. But you never hear from the big ones. I think the largest channel I have ever interviewed on my series of Time with Gramps is Granny Monster, who's got 7,000 subscribers. I don't know whether you follow Granny Monster at all, and she mentioned in
I
the
haven't, but now I will.
yeah she mentioned in the chat there about Pet Monster. He had a big following, and he never asked for donations at all. His channel wasn't monetized. Brilliant guy when I interviewed him, and I've enjoyed all my interviews. Hello, Helga's Pennsylvania Cooking. Lots of subs with no views. Yeah, because one thing I did notice, because as I said to you before, I do a lot of research on channels who I interview, and I noticed on your second video that you put up just over a year ago that you've had nearly 10,000 views on that, and then there was another one where you had 5,000 views, and then you had another one which was you was in a community. Whatever it is, and you've had a lot of views on that. But your average view time is only about 150. Oh, we've got Green Bay Wacky in as well.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. So, what was the secret? Because that first video you put up, or the second video you put up, how can I help you? It's got nearly 10,000 views. Uh, I think I've got one which I put up nearly 2007, so that's 11 years ago. I think that's just reached to 10,000. So to get that in your first video or second video that you put up, what was the secret behind that, or what do
I'll
you
tell you
think?
what this. I'll tell you what the secret is, because no one's really going to get that high of a view count typically when they start a YouTube channel nowadays. I actually paid for advertising.
Yeah,
I paid YouTube slash Google to promote those videos, because at that point you needed 10,000 views to be monetized. That was monetized under the old system, and now when they changed it from 10,000 views to 4,000 plus watch time hours and 1,000 plus subscribers, the game changed. And basically, what ended up happening was, I just shared a story on your channel. I've shared it on other channels before. Um, on February 20th, I already had the watch time hours.
yeah,
And then I reached 1,020 subscribers on February 20th, and I was still monetized. And then basically, YouTube swept through the system and demonetized me, even though I had qualified under the new program in time. And when I reached out to them and I asked them what's going on, they said, "Well, our stats are 2 days behind, and that's why you were, removed. But we'll review you as soon as possible." Well, now, the reviews are going to be done by the end of June. They initially said by the end of April, and then by the end of June. And I'll share more about that in a bit. But I paid for views. I paid for advertising, which is what it was, legally through YouTube. You can promote your video. Now, there was a video that organically went viral.
hmm.
I had a 3-part podcast series
Yeah,
that I did with a very prominent YouTuber from a former community I was involved with, the MGTOW Men Going Their Own Way community. And this gentleman had his channel shut down for stupid reasons. He's a good guy. And I got an exclusive interview with him because I reached out to him and got to know him and found out that he lives in Northern California, near where I live. And you know, it was a 3-hour interview, pre-recorded, but we split it into 3 parts. And part 1 of that interview got 11,000 views and got 150,000 hours of watch time, which is close to 3,000 watch time hours. So on that one video alone, I got basically 75% of the year required watch time hours. So it's not really difficult to grow your watch time if you focus on creating content. What James Cox is doing is basically telling you to, you know, forcing you to go to other people's channels and just let the playlist play in the background, and that's not genuine. You know, that's skating the system. That's basically, you know, giving somebody artificial view time temporarily.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I did that. You know, initially when you start a channel, you're probably going to have to pay for a little bit of advertising to jumpstart you. But after that, it's basically about creating engaging content that people want to see.
Yeah, yeah. But don't you find nowadays, or the last year, with a lot of people now are doing live streams to get the watch hours in, and really they're not creating anything because all they're doing is just chatting to other people. To me, if you're a creator, you try to either come up with a subject to discuss, or you know, go out filming and putting stuff together. You know, like I mean, Green Bay Wacky, he does a lot of great live streams, but he still produces good content videos. You know, he's slapstick, what I call slapstick humour videos, which are brilliant. But you look at a lot of these new YouTube channels that have grown to 1,000 subscribers. Half of them, all they do is do live streaming or chit chat, as I call it. That they do not produce any content. And if you've got drama in a channel, then you obviously get people in, because when you do create drama, people, I don't know, they flock to it. Whereas you can produce good content and you find it hard to keep subscribers, you know, for some reason. Because I do this. I also go out with my cameras, because I've got 4 cameras. I go out and I produce things. I've got a drone, so I produce aerial footage. And I still, all right, my average views on most of my videos I put up, and like the live streams, are about between 150 and 200 views, which I don't think is bad, because normally my interviews are, about an hour and a half, the average. And the one I did with Juice My Randomness, the watch time on that, I think the full interview was about 1 hour 28. My average watch time on that was 1 hour 25 minutes 38 seconds, and that is the
Pretty
best. Good. The average watch time on most of my interviews is about 25 minutes, which I think is very good when you look at the analytics.
It is.
Hiya, Aussie Mark. Sorry, I'm neglecting the chat. We've got Drone Wolf Media, Chris in, Barry, Vlog from the Bog, Foundation Ariel, Marie, Greenback. How you guys are pulling no punches here, calling out James. No, we're not calling out James. I think James has got a great community there. So I will never call anybody. And I don't, you know, Coach is just giving his opinion on how he thinks James's community is going. But we are not calling James. We're not calling the community. I never call anybody on here, because to me, YouTube creators and everybody on there is here to build up a following of people who genuinely like the content that you are putting up as an individual. So.
Yeah, well, you mind if I respond to that?
Yeah.
Because you're talking about Green Bay Wacky's comment, right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Green Bay Wacky. I love your stuff, man. I am subscribed to you, and at some point, I'd love to do a collab with you. Maybe we can interview each other on our channels. That would be great. But you have one of the bigger channels compared to other channels. You have 3,700 subscribers. So James Cox sees value in being on your show. I've been trying to get James Cox on my show to interview him forever now, and he just keeps making excuses. Same with Keith here, Eagle VP. Okay, look, I'm not here to kick James down or talk smack about him. I'm here to state the facts and allow all of you to make an informed decision. You don't have to like me. Okay, I don't expect anyone to like me, and quite frankly, I'm not here to please anybody. I'm here to be myself, and I'm here to represent Eagle VP Keith and say, he's a good guy, and thank you for having me here. But what I will say is this. When this whole hashtag I am a creator community thing implodes, and one of two things happens. Either YouTube shuts it down for spam and deceptive practices, or people realize that they're not going to gain their watch time and gain views from the subscribers, the empty subscribers they get, and then the artificial watch time they get. They're going to leave, and there's going to be nothing left there. You guys are going to see it on your own. You're just not seeing it yet because you're not as experienced of an entrepreneur as I am. I've been an entrepreneur for 10 years, and I've run in-person networking events, and I've seen every single thing human beings have pulled on other human beings. So I'm very well aware of what's happening. So again, I think what Green Bay Wacky is doing, and I'm glad he mentioned that he did a stream, because now, what I'm going to do later on today, Keith, I'm going to go to Green Bay Wacky channel, and I'm going to watch the replay of that stream because I'm curious to see what happened. Green Bay, if you want to put in the chat, was it like pretty amazing? Like, was it epic? Back to you, Keith.
Yeah. I'm just going to try and find Green Bay Wacky's comment now, and then I'll give him a wrench, and then he can put the link in. When I can find him, I'm just going back. Angel, where's Green Bay Wacky again? Oh, there he is. So I'm going to give him. Oh, I'm not on my channel, am I? I'm watching it on. I'm just watching it on YouTube and not signed into my channel, so I can't. So if I put that down and go and do it on my channel, and then I should be able to do it. Well, now.
Hello, everybody. Sorry, I'm not paying too close attention to the chat because I'm really focusing on what Keith, aka Eagle VP, is asking me. So my apologies if I don't respond to most of the chat questions. I want to pay my respect to Keith here.
Yeah, well, you can answer a few of the chat questions if you like, Eli, Coach.
Well, Keith, what I'm really curious about here is, hearing what people actually think about this. Because, look, I don't think that you and I are not sitting here trying to hurt anyone. But we are seeing things happening through the I Am a Creator community that is eventually going to hurt people. Okay? And you can't sit there and force people to do things just because YouTube changed their minimum requirements and raised the threshold to join the YouTube Partner Program. Okay? Because I had my watch time hours long before, February 20th. Within maybe 4 or 5 months of starting my channel, I was well over 4,000 watch time hours. And why is that? Because I always created and still creating engaging content that people naturally want to see. Okay? So if you focus more on your message and focus less on promoting I Am a Creator, you're going to win. If you change your channel and make your channel an I Am a Creator, an I Am a Creator channel, then you're straying away from the initial message of your channel, and eventually people are going to unsubscribe from you, and you're not going to get anywhere. You need to stick true to what your channel's purpose is and focus on that. That's all I'm trying to say here.
Yeah.
But people don't see that. They think we're hurting James Cox. They think we're jealous of James Cox. It's not about that. Just wait and see what happens. I'm telling you, wait and see what happens. Do not take my word for it. Do not believe a word I say, and you don't have to like me. I really don't care. I hope you do, because I love each and every one of you regardless.
Yeah.
But we're just trying to open up your eyes. Leave your eyes wide open. Don't be naive. Sorry, back to you.
Yeah, that's all right, Eli. Um, so, what are your future plans for the hashtag I am a YouTuber community? How would you like to see that grow? And in what ways can you help it to grow?
Well, my channel is a business and personal relationship coaching channel. So the thing I want to answer is, how does this come into play on my channel? It comes into play from my business relationship coaching aspect, because I help entrepreneurs grow. I help people make the transition from being a corporate employee to becoming a successful and sustainable entrepreneur. Okay, and then on the personal relationship side, I help people better understand relationship dynamics between a man and a woman, or if you're gay or lesbian, I help you understand your relationship dynamics as well. I won't get too far into that, but I help everyone despite your age, race, sex, national origin, etc. But this more so comes into play on my business aspect for entrepreneurs, because I honestly consider anyone that wants to become a full-time YouTuber is technically trying to become an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And many people that have never been an entrepreneur before, been self-employed, run their own business, do not understand how it works and how difficult it is. So first and foremost, that's what I'm trying to teach people. I'm also trying to teach people that, the secret to success is you. How you see yourself is how others are going to see you. So if you have a piss poor attitude, people are, that's going to resonate to the world, and they're not going to like you. But if you have a positive attitude, yet you're honest and genuine, even if you're saying things that are like, for example, talking about the James Cox thing, I'm not trying to be negative about it. I'm just stating the facts. If you have a positive attitude about it, and you're confident and congruent with your words, the right people will follow you, and you're going to win. So that's what I pretty much do. As far as a hashtag I'm a YouTuber, right now, Keith, I'm focusing more on doing live streams than in studio videos. I have over like 150 in studio pre-recorded videos, but I'm focusing on the live streams right now because I'm trying to build my network.
Yeah.
They're getting more views than my pre-recorded videos, and so I'm shifting focus on that. And in all honesty, the live streams are very engaging. Does that mean I'm never going to do an in-studio video pre-recorded again? No, but for the time being, I'm going to focus on what's working and gaining traction, and that's what I help people figure out as well. So that's a little bit about where it's going to go.
Yeah,
but I can answer more if you want. I know you have some more questions, but if we want to get the specifics on what I'm going to do, teach people OBS, teach people how to use tools like TubeBuddy and vidIQ and Morning Fame that can help them optimize their YouTube videos. Yeah. That's what I'm going to help them do. James Cox is not helping people with that. I'm not trying to kick it down. I'm just stating the facts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He's put the link in to that video. So I'll tell you what, it's been very heated in the chat. I have been watching it, and I've had a lot of new ones in. So we've got Janet here, and I noticed you were part of that WGTOW community when you first started. Hello, Andy, ADMR 1985. So could you tell us a little bit about that community that you was in then? Eli, please, Coach.
Yeah, MGTOW. It's the acronym that's pronounced MGTOW.
Yeah.
MGTOW. It's not MGTOW, it's MGTOW.
Oh.
And it stands for Men Going Their Own Way. It is a group of men that have congregated together to discuss male and female relationship dynamics. Primarily, most of these men that are a part of the group have decided that the downside risk of dating or marrying women in today's day and age is far too great based on modern day divorce laws. And I honestly really can't blame them. But I don't tell people to not date, and I don't tell people to not get married, okay? Because I am dating somebody, and I do want to get married. What I share with people is, you could do it. You can better screen who you date and choose to marry. An example: in today's day and age, women are liberated because of feminism, which is fine. Most women are working and really don't need a man for anything like they used to need a man in the past. So you have to take that into consideration. And with that being said, if let's say you're a 40-year-old man like me, okay, you should probably find a woman close to your age that makes similar money as you make. I make similar money as my girlfriend makes. So here's the thing, and we also have similar resources. So for example, if I get married to my girlfriend and then we get divorced, hypothetically speaking, if we bring similar resources, similar money, etc., to the relationship, and we get divorced, we really don't lose anything from a financial standpoint. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But an example, if you're a 40-year-old man and a 24-year-old young, sexy, attractive woman hits on you, okay, wants to be with you, and then you marry her, and let's say you make $100,000 a year and she makes $15,000 or $20,000 a year at Starbucks, and you get married, okay, and then she divorces you down the road, what's going to happen? She's going to take you for half of what you're worth. But if you were aware of what you were getting into before you got into it, you could have prevented that. It's about awareness. It's about understanding that in these situations, the 40-year-old man is excited that a hot, sexy 24-year-old woman wants to be with him, but does she really want to be with him for the right reasons? In some cases, it could be possible, but in many cases, these women. No offense, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just stating the facts. This is not to be rude. Many of these women are what we call gold diggers out here in the U.S., especially out here in California where I live. And they pretend to love you. They make you think that you're the greatest man since sliced bread, or the greatest thing since sliced bread. They may give you intimacy and make you feel important until they get what they want and extract all your resources. And once they get what they want and don't have a need for you anymore, they're going to withdraw and do what's called monkey branch to another man that makes more money. So I make people aware that in MGTOW, there are certain men there that say you should withdraw completely. And if you decide to date, you're an idiot. If you decide to marry a woman, you're an idiot. I disagree with that. And that's how I got, scrutinized in that industry. So that's a little bit about MGTOW, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, it does. So you mentioned you would like to marry your young lady. So how long you been dating her then, if you don't mind me asking, Eli?
We've been together for a year and a half.
Yeah.
She is divorced and has two wonderful daughters from a previous marriage.
Yeah.
A lot of people would call her a single mom. The stereotype is a single mom, and I get it. She gets it as well. But you know what? I like to call her, a lady that has children from a previous marriage. I'm much more respectful.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm much more respectful is because I've never met any woman that respects me as much as she does, just for being me. And she's even told me, we've talked about this, she doesn't really need me for anything. And I asked her, I said, if you don't need me for anything in the ways that women used to need men in the past, before feminism and before women were liberated, then why do you want to be with me? She goes, I like your company, I like your affection, you're a good man.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you.
And
that blows me away.
Yeah. The Midnight Ravens put a comment in there. Why is it that Coach Eli constantly changes his opinion about the I am a creator? 1 minute he's in, next he's out.
Where that's in the chat right now?
Yeah. The Midnight Raven. It's just near the top of the...
Why is it that Coach Eli constantly changes his opinion about the I'm a creator? 1 minute he's in, 1 minute he's out. I haven't changed my opinion all the time. I changed my opinion one time. That proves to me you have not been following me enough to understand where I'm at. Another issue with the I am a creator community, a lot of people will cherry pick what they view. They'll come onto your live stream for about 5 or 10 minutes, hear one thing that you say, and then they assume that you're one way. If you're gonna ask somebody questions, you need to know your facts, and you need to view more than just 5 or 10 minutes of their content. You're cherry picking. I call that cherry picking. Midnight Raven, I respect you, and I believe we are creative. But I had a good opinion about the I'm a creator community until this particular thing happened. Okay, I started reaching out to James Cox's moderators and him to ask them for interviews. Okay, and I reached out, and I'm going to mention names. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Giggles, Giggles. I reached out to her because James Cox puts her on a pedestal. James Cox makes Giggles, Giggles sound like she's the greatest thing since sliced bread, right? And
Yeah.
so I reached out to her through a stream that Angel Domingue did, who's in your chat right now. Hello, Angel. I still have a lot of love for you, despite whatever your thoughts are about me now. I don't judge, okay? And she told me, let me think about it. Let me think about it. What's there to think about? You either want to do it or you don't. The reason why you don't want to do it is because you know that I am the type of person that stands on my own without James Cox, and you know if you come over to my world, then James Cox is going to think badly about you. So that's what happened. The bottom line is when I started seeing things like that happen, I tried to leverage the network in the ways that James Cox was saying to leverage it, and people weren't willing to work with me. It made me feel like it was pointless. It made me feel like what James Cox was saying for people to do, they weren't doing, but he wasn't holding them accountable for it. So that's the reason there. I never changed my mind once I changed it. So I used to be a part of the community, okay?
Yeah.
And then once it started changing about 3-4 weeks ago, and I started looking much more closely while I was trying to network with the people that I've supported and connected with, and they didn't want to work with me, then I had to sit there and say, what's the point? Why should I be subscribed to Giggles Giggles when she doesn't want to work with me? What's the point?
Yeah.
What is she, a makeup channel? I'm a guy. What the heck am I going to do with makeup? Now, if she wanted to support me and I support her, I could interview her about her makeup channel and where her passion stemmed from. But because she didn't even want to do the interview, there's no value for me working with her.
Yeah.
Because she shut the door on me. There's your answer.
Yeah, because I've interviewed makeup channels on this Time with Gramps. I've interviewed Pauline's Just Living, and at one point Pauline was in James's stream, and I think she got over 30 new supporters. Next morning she got up and she'd lost nearly as many as she gained, and to me that's when I then thought it's not a supporters channel; it is a sub for sub. And I've gained a few, but I've also lost many in that community, and for no apparent reason, because I have watched their videos, I've made comments, and all I get back is a ha. I don't get a comment back saying thanks. Now, on all my videos, whether the live streams or content that I've created, I always reply, no matter how many. I mean, like the other morning, I spent nearly 90 minutes replying to all the comments on the particular video that I put up. And all right, when I first met James Cox through the hashtag I Am a Creator community, he only had about 3,000 supporters. He's now up to, as you say, 6,500 and something, I believe. So he has grown because of that community, not by any other means, because, as I say, he only had 3,500 when I first joined that community. So go on, Coach, sorry.
I wanted to just respond to a lady in your chat that used to be a moderator on my channel. But because of some things happened, she wanted to withdraw. Janice Wigtow asks, Eli, why do you talk bad about people? Don't you think that is negative drama? Here's the thing, Janet. I can talk about whoever I want, whenever I want, how I want, and you can choose whether you want to support me or not. And I respect you. I respect your message. I never once have talked badly about you. Okay? I have strong opinions about things, certain things, where I feel people are being misled and misguided. And while you may not agree with what I'm saying now, I have a lot of experience to back up what I'm saying based on past historical experience regarding people that have done similar things in real life that James Cox is now doing. And here's what's going to happen, Janice Wigtown, and anyone else that doesn't believe anything I'm saying. It's not going to happen today. It's not going to happen tomorrow. But mark my words, 6 months to a year from now, between 6 months to a year from now, when one of a few things happens. Whether YouTube looks at James Cox and shuts his channel down for spam and deceptive practices of overusing the hashtag, or doing a sub for sub, which is against YouTube's terms, okay? Or even if he does not get shut down, when people start to realize that you can't force people to connect, and that when you force people to subscribe to each other, those are empty subscribers where people are not going to view your videos and give you watch time organically, and you realize that you're not growing, then you're going to come back and say, you know what, Coach Eli, you were right. And I'm not trying to be right. I'm trying to protect you folks and say, hey, look, focus on your own message. Focus on yourself. You know, you have a message. You're a YouTuber for a reason. You're not a YouTuber to go on James Cox's channel and sit there on an 8-hour live stream and waste your time riding the James Cox, coattails. You are an individual that has a message. I want to hear your message. I don't want to hear you be James Cox Jr. on your channel. I'm sick and tired of everybody running live streams on their channel saying hashtag I'm a creator community stream. What does that have to do with your channel and your message? What does it have to do with your channel and your message? I subscribe to you for your vlogging channel, for your gaming channel, or whatever you have to offer. I did not subscribe to you to come and get something that I can go to James Cox's stream and get. And until you folks realize that you're being sucked in and you're drinking the Kool-Aid, and until you get hurt, you're not going to realize it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I get very passionate.
Yeah, and I know you do. Well, that's why I wanted to interview you, because you've got very strong opinions. You're very passionate about YouTube. And I've just been looking at a few of the comments again, and I appreciate everybody who's...
Keith, can I say one more thing real quick? I don't mean to interrupt you, but here's the thing. I don't care if everyone in this chat right now that's subscribed to me unsubscribe. If you unsubscribe for me, you weren't there for the right reasons in the first place. I don't want people to be there because they're forced to be there. I want you to be there because you want to be there. And I've subscribed to your channels because I want to support you truly. So grow up, suck it up, be stronger, and understand that certain people like myself that have strong convictions are just trying to help you. And trying to help you based on our experiences of dealing with people that are manipulative like James Cox is. And you guys just don't see it. Figure it out on your own. Yeah, when it happens, and you come back into my house, I'll let you in. I'll let you into my house at that point. Yeah. Okay?
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about it at that point. Then we'll see how you feel. Because you're going to feel pretty bad at that point. All right. Sorry, Keith.
Yeah, that's all right. I just want to answer Gemma Grace's. She put, great interview, Keith. It's gone up now, so I'll just have to put it up. Sorry about that. Great interview, Keith. Fantastic interview question. You're a natural. What made you do interviews, Keith? Well, Gemma, I started doing these interviews, must be over a year ago. I've done 52 so far. It's because I enjoy meeting people from all walks of life. We've all got our own attributes. We're all different. I don't want any hate on here. I don't want any drama. I just want to get to know the people that I subscribe to. And Coach Eli is just one of many channels that I subscribe to. Like most of these in the chat, I subscribe to. I support you all. And, hopefully I'll get some more interviews with other people who are in this chat, because that's what life's all about. It's getting to know people from all walks of life and watch their channels grow. And, I am going to get Green Bay Wacky on if he will consent to it, because I've followed Green Bay Wacky from day one virtually. I've seen his channel grow. He's such a comic, but he's got the right attitude.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's brilliant at what he does. He fetches a lot of people in. He's made a lot of friends on here, but he goes about it the right way. He has, and his channel has grown. And he's another one that would like to make a living from YouTube. it's a lot harder now because I mean back in 2007 saw channels growing that fast because there wasn't the content on, so you only had maybe what 50,000 people to watch. Now it's into the millions, so you've got that many to choose from. The small YouTuber like ourselves are never going to get noticed unless. I mean, I follow Casey Neistat like the majority of people in here. There was one guy on there on his channel that Casey got given these lace-up shoes, and he donated them to a teacher who was in a wheelchair. And the moment he donated those shoes to this other channel, his channel got 40 odd thousand subscribers in a day just because they'd been on Casey Neistat's channel. So
Correct.
if you can get on with a big YouTuber, or if you can get an interview, if you can get a reply from a big YouTuber, it's something. So, that's why I'll never give up. I want to interview as many people on my channel to get to know their content, to get to know their channel, whether they're small, whether they're big, or what. I mean, the last one that I did with Donny Shaw show, fantastic. I really enjoyed. Great personality. I've done one with Jeanette Pickering. She's another one. Absolutely fantastic woman. And if you try her cakes, absolutely beautiful. If you ever get over to England, Coach Eli, you want to come to Sheffield to see Jeanette Pickering because she's a wonderful baker. So
excellent.
So
excellent. But she's a baker, you said, right?
Yeah. She does vlogs about a bacon, and she does a lot of live streams in the morning, about 10 a.m. UK time, which is.
Hey Keith.
Yeah.
My girlfriend and I both love pastries.
Oh.
So we'll go out there and visit her, and then we'll do some hiking and backpacking out there to shed those extra pounds we're going to gain with all that extra sugar, right?
Yeah. So that leads me to a question then. Have you
Yes.
Have you backpacked in the giant redwoods part of California?
Yeah, my lady and I have done a lot of backpacking, also known as hiking.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of biking. We both have mountain bikes, and we both have hiking gear, hiking boots, and we load backpacks. We pretty much do day trips. There's an area that we love to visit. It's called Mount Shasta here in Northern California. It's very, very beautiful, and we were there late last year. We're going to go back 4th of July weekend. We booked some rooms in that area months in advance before they sell out. And, we're going to go do some hiking, backpacking, and some, bike riding there. So love the outdoors, and I'm open to exploring everything. The only problem I have, Keith, you want to hear this?
Yeah.
Coach Eli has one fear.
Oh, no, I don't believe that.
Well, I'm going to admit that to you. I've talked about it before. You know what rattlesnakes are? I fear rattlesnakes because in California and in certain states here in the U.S., the one venomous snake we have is a rattlesnake. And because, we get some warm weather in the summer and the rattlesnakes come out, you got to be very, very careful.
Yeah.
So I when I'm on these trails, I'm on high alert. We've actually seen one rattlesnake, but we've seen a bunch of other snakes as well called gopher snakes, which are harmless. Those are not venomous, but they look very similar. So, yes, I enjoy the outdoors, but I hate snakes.
Yeah, you're not the only one because I've been to California, about 6 times. I've driven from Seattle down to San Diego. I've done from New York down to the Keys. Last time I was in the States was 3 years ago. I flew into Atlanta and drove to El Paso in Texas and back to Atlanta. So I've been over to the States 28 times. I've been to the Grand Canyon. I've been to Bryce. I've been to all the canyons. I've done most of the tourists, but I like to get away from the tourists. I've done the Napa Valley, the giant redwoods. So yeah, I love coming to the States. I mean, if the wife was a bit younger, we'd come
Yeah,
back. But she's had 2 heart attacks, and her insurance is too expensive now because
yeah,
it's about £2,500 air insurance to come for 2 weeks to the States. So uh, it makes it virtually impossible to come because it'd make an holiday to the States about £5,000 for it, whereas here to go to Europe it's about 200 to £300, which is about $375, I think, somewhere around there. So, have you done much travelling at all?
um, I haven't done that much traveling lately. My family is from Greece, and I
Yeah,
haven't been to Greece in quite some time. Um, I've traveled, throughout the U.S., but I have not been out of the country in a while. But my girlfriend loves to travel, and as we get more and more settled in, next year we're gonna probably end up moving in together. We're gonna do more traveling to Hawaii, and we're gonna do more traveling overseas. So right now, Keith, to be honest with you, my focus, uh, besides the time I spend with my lady and our families, okay, is pretty much on doing whatever I can to grow my YouTube channel and seeing if it's sustainable to move forward or not. So, that comes at a price. You have to sit there and ask yourself, how much do you want something and what are you willing to give up to get it? Because you're going to have to give up something. Number one, I don't want to give up my girlfriend. Number two, I don't want to give up my family.
yeah,
So, and number three, I need to have enough income coming in to the point of where I can afford to do this until I replace my income being a YouTuber,
yeah,
right? Which
yeah,
I have my insurance business that I built and I get residual income off of that.
yeah,
So you have to look at it that way. So, yeah, that's just a little bit about where I'm at, and like I said, we do a lot of traveling around California. There are so many things to do in northern, central, and southern California that literally it will take you 10 years to experience the whole thing if you want to do it the right way. So we're very fortunate to live in a state that's highly scrutinized, for having our noses up in the air and thinking that we're all that. But you know what? There are some good people in California, and California, like there's that's why it's so expensive to live here, especially in the Bay Area, the San Francisco Bay Area, where my lady Dana and I live. There's just so much to do.
yeah.
The weather is great, and it's just amazing.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to. I mean, I've been to San Francisco what 6 times, so uh, hopefully I'll get to see a bit more of where you live, the area where you live. Because I mean, uh, being a tourist, it's Pier 39 and all the tourist attractions, Chinatown
Right.
and everything like that. If I'd have known you then, I would love to have met up with you and been shown around because that is the beauty. I mean, Bella's in. Hello, beauty on a budget. An angel. Sorry, I haven't spoken to you because I get so wrapped up in when I'm interviewing people. I do tend to ignore the chat, and I should concentrate on the chat. I notice that you do when you're on your live streams. You get involved in the chat, and you sometimes ignore the chat window, and we all do it, I think. But
It's a balance, man. It's hard to do.
yeah, it is, and I've got it on slow mo as well, but you still can't keep up with it all. But
Right.
what I was going to say to you is, if you ever come to the UK, you are quite welcome to come and visit and stop with us, because that is the only problem with YouTube. That's why I can't do it a live stream every day because my wife does not like me on YouTube. She thinks she thinks I've got that many women on here, which I have. I communicate with a lot of young ladies, well, not young ladies, certain age group, my age group, and a bit younger. So I've got to. I haven't got the time. I'm retired, so what I tend to do is do one interview a week and one coffee morning a week, and but I go and join other people. When I've got 5 or 10 minutes. Like you said, you was going live. Like you went live last night. It was what about 1 o'clock, I think, 7 o'clock. 6, yeah, about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was wide awake, so I put your channel on in the interview on the TV and watched it while I was in bed, wide awake. So if you make a comment, Eli, in there, I will make you a moderator on my channel as well because I think you deserve it.
Yeah, and when you come over to mine, I'll actually, you commented on my channel. I'm gonna make you a moderator as well. And see, you see what Keith just said there? It's trust and respect. When you give someone a moderator wrench, you get to know them first. And when you give them that wrench, that is an honor. You have to understand that it's an honor and a privilege. And don't ever go on someone's channel and ask them to moderate you. Ask them to make you a mod. That is the rudest thing you can do. I've seen so many people say, hey, make me mod me, mod me. Are you kidding me? That's something that you earn by being there with no expectations. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Keith. I'm very honored and humbled by that. And I will add you on my channel as well because I have a feeling that after this interview here, because I pushed the envelope a little bit. I'm not vulgar or anything like that, but I have no fears. Like here's the thing, like I said, I could care less. I love everybody, but if everyone in this channel subscribed to me right now, it wouldn't bother me. It would basically tell me that, you know what, you were never there for the right reason. Yeah. So you'd be doing me a favor. Yeah. Okay? It's your choice. But here's the thing. You're going to stick around. I'll tell you why. Because I'm calling everyone out, and this is different. This is different than what you see out there. You're not used to this. You may be sitting here trying to question me why I'm doing what I'm doing and why I'm behaving the way I'm behaving, but you're here and you're watching, right? Yeah. You're here. Yeah. You're watching because it's not boring. Go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, I fully agree there. I mean, that's one thing about my channel. I don't worry if people go. It don't worry me. If they don't want to stick around and enjoy my content, that's up to them. So, and I'll stick with channels who unsubscribe to me. If I enjoy their content and if they're producing good content, it's like Gemma. I haven't been following her for long, but I love watching her channel. She's autistic, but she does brilliant live streams. She's in yours a lot, and she gets a lot of stick, and I can't understand why. I mean, because she's a fantastic young lady, and beauty on a budget. She needs her channel growing, and we're here really to help each other. If you've got this is the thing that when I watch these beauty channels on here, and they're talking about doing the makeup and everything like that, I often think, well, how can you make a comment from a man's point of view? How do you make a comment? Because you don't want to sound as though you're chatting them up. You want to sound responsible. So if I think they're making good content, I always leave a comment, But I mean, like Beauty on a Budget, she's a brilliant young lady, Bella, and I followed her from day one virtually, and I always comment on her videos. But I often think, well, if I say, "Oh, you look gorgeous," or "You look beautiful," your hair looks, what's my wife going to think? So I've got to be a bit careful on things like that. I don't know how you get away with things, Eli, when you follow these beauty channels and the comments you make on them. Does your girlfriend? How's your girlfriend react to you being on YouTube and supporting women? If you follow these beauty channels.
You know what? Here's the thing. I'll preface by saying this. I think that, all women, would like their man, if their man is a YouTuber, to learn how to balance it better. Did I go through, a time where I was overdoing it on YouTube and lost track on other things? Absolutely. But I actually was focusing on the wrong things, and my girlfriend helped me realize that because she cares about me and respects me. She never tells me what to do. I never tell her what to do. But we complement each other very well, and that's what makes our relationship strong. But I've seen many YouTubers struggle with their marriages or their relationships because they don't know how to balance that out. So that is a very, very common thing, and I'm glad that you brought it up. But can I mention one thing about Green Bay Wacky very, very briefly?
Yeah, go ahead, because you're on my channel. I respect whatever you say, So if you see something in the comments, you answer it by all means, Eli.
Well, Keith, I'm looking at what's happening here. I really like what you're doing, and I think we have a lot in common, and I think we can definitely continue working together. And I think Green Bay Wacky, you and myself can work together. Green Bay Wacky. Listen, I'm pretty much probably as wacky as you are in a different way, but you know what? I'm not afraid to, speak of the truth and call people out in ways that they need to be called out. And I'm also open to hearing their feedback. Look, when you call people out, you better understand that they're going to call you out. And if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. I'm being real about that. And as a YouTuber, if you don't have thick skin, you're never going to make it because you're always going to have haters and detractors no matter how good you're doing things. Okay? So you have to learn how to balance that. So Green Bay Wacky, I would love to interview you sometime on my channel, or if you want me to do a stream with you on your channel, or do one with you, myself, and Keith Eagle VP, let me know. Green Bay Wacky nailed the board. He said this is one of the most entertaining streams that's happened here. Look, I've been told I can be entertaining. Maybe I am, okay, humbly speaking. But I like to be entertaining while throwing down truth bombs and speaking of the truth. Because here's the thing. If you're boring, even if your message is the right message, no one's going to listen to it. You have to make it entertaining, interesting, and you have to make it real at the same time. And that's what I want to say there. So, I'm just kind of blown away at what's happening here today, Keith.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I appreciate everything that you've spoken about on this interview. I mean, I've got about 50 questions to ask you, but it's been a really entertaining time. And I've had a lot of new people in the chat. I don't know if I've lost anyone or if anyone supported me from the chat, but I don't do it for support. I do it because I enjoy meeting and talking to people. You are a fascinating person to talk to. I have, I've enjoyed this. What we've been on about an hour and 20 minutes or something like that. And
Yep.
we've had an average of about 20 to 22 watches in most of the time, which for a 68-year-old like me, Coach, it's an honour, I'll tell you, because I love it. And one of the channels that I've supported from day one is Cab 7. I don't know whether you've come across his channel, but he's Ben, they call him. Fantastic channel, shows a lot of love. And that's why I like Angel's channel as well, because she shows a lot of love on her channel. And, I want to interview Angel because I think that she's a very interesting person. She's got a lot to put out there, So I'm going to get back and ask you because I watched on one of your streams that you said that your family comes from Greece. Whereabouts in Greece?
Yes.
The mainland or one of the islands?
My mother is from the town of Corinth, which is near the major city of Athens, which is what most people know Greece. They know the major city of Athens. My father was from a town called Malandreni. It's not as well known. It's a smaller type of town. So that's where they were. Born and raised with old school traditional values that have been instilled within me. I'm actually a very traditional type of man, but with a modern twist. Because let me tell you something: there aren't any more. Well, I want to say there aren't any more, but there are very, very few old school traditional women still left on this planet. And modern day feminism changed that. Women have become liberated, and I'm all for that. It's all good. And things have changed. I grew up in a traditional household, and now in my relationship, like I said earlier, Keith, it's funny. Like women don't need a man for anything nowadays. They can make the same amount of money. They have the same opportunities. Heck, my woman even lifts heavy stuff. I'm like, What the hell you need me for? Oh, you're good company. You're a nice guy, and you're fun to be with, and it's like you're cool. Okay, so you don't want me to be a man anymore? No, I want you to be a man, but I just want to do my part and help you out. It's just the way it is. So times have changed, Keith,
Yeah,
and so go ahead.
this is it, because I've been married over 40 years, and
Wow.
I look at it that, because I'm very old fashioned, every household, every job in the household is a man's. The woman is there as a helper. I'm very old fashioned in that I like to give up my seat on a bus if I'm on public transport. I like to open doors. I like to treat a woman as a woman. Uh, but as you said, nowadays that is getting harder and harder, because most of these feminists don't want that. They want equal rights with everybody, And I think in this day and age, when both husband and wife or both partners go out to work, uh, they should. They haven't got a lot of time, so they've got to buy out that opportune time for each other, because it is a commercial world that we live in at the moment, and more so in the States than England. It's a rat race here, but it's more of a rat race in the States because, as you said, the price of property, the prestige of life. I would rather go back to the old way of life. No cars, old horse and cart on the road. Uh, you know, producing your own goods, like having a little plot of land and growing your own vegetables, having a sheep or something so you can get your own milk. Uh, Back to that way of life, because it was a lot more peaceful. I mean, people have got more nowadays, but we have lost that um, community spirit, because when I was a child and I was growing up, we knew we knew our next door neighbours. We could go into our next door neighbours and say, "Have you got a bag of tea or a bag of sugar?" And you'd probably get it. Nowadays, people don't even know the next door neighbour, because all right, they might see him washing the car on the weekend, and it's hello, and that's it, and they don't intermingle anymore. So I don't know what your opinions on that is, with living in the States.
I'm trying to understand, like, my opinion about what specifically, because I'm
Well,
a
yeah,
little confused.
yeah, that people don't recognise the neighbours now. That there isn't that neighbourhood spirit in, because where I live in a sheltered accommodation. I know the two
Yeah,
people next door and the one the opposite side, and that's it. Because nobody speaks to each other. You go into a doctor's surgery, and or you get on a bus nowadays, and you see the young just on the phone. They don't communicate. They communicate by text or messages. They
yep,
don't talk. You go in a doctor's surgery. When I was younger, you go in a doctor's surgery and start a conversation. You can't
yep,
now. And if you are walking down the street and you say hello to somebody, they completely ignore you. And so it isn't a nice world that we live in, because people do ignore you, which is, since I've been on YouTube, I have noticed there is a community spirit on there. So, I'm just asking what your opinions are on the state of life that we live in.
yeah. My thoughts are, I'll tell you what changed the world. And I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, Silicon Valley, which is where all the technology started. When you have these smartphones here, okay, you
Yeah,
have these iPhones, you have these Androids, tablets, and it's basically turned our cellular phones, which it was cool enough that we could make phone calls, from the road or outside of our homes. But then when they started putting computers on these cell phones, and now we have 4G LTE, where we have high speed internet wherever we're at. It's addicting to people, and so what's happening is that more and more people are multitasking, and they want instant gratification on everything. So you can be on a date with somebody. Like in the past, where I met my lady Dana, I'd go on some dates, and then you'd go on a date with a woman that you met, from Match.com or wherever, and then she gets a notification from some other guy on Match.com and responds to this guy while she's on a date with you.
Yeah.
What kind of? I'm not going to swear on your channel, but what the heck is that all about? You know?
Yeah.
It's like, you know. So the problem is that we have too much technology. We life has become so simplified that we take it for granted.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening. You have to learn how to balance it out. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love my iPhone. I love having a GPS where I don't have to print out directions anymore. Before we even had the internet, we would go down to AAA. Here in the U.S., we have AAA, which when you become a member, you go get free road maps from them. You had road maps you had to open up to find out where you're going. So I do like the convenience of the smartphone. Also, it saves a lot of paper, which is saving a lot of trees, which is great. But it's also made life far too easy. It's opened up many more options we didn't have. What it's also done, Keith, is that it's allowed for men and women to cheat on each other much more easily. It's allowed people to do things that they never had access to doing before.
Yeah, I agree on that.
There are a lot of pros to it. There are a lot of cons to it as well. But I think that's what's primarily changed society. We've had smartphones now for about 10 plus years. And for about the last 4 or 5 years, we've had 4G LTE, which is very fast internet. When they first came out, the internet was slow on them, but they were still okay. But now, it's like most people sit there on their smartphone all day. They won't even go on their laptop anymore because they can do almost everything on their smartphone that they used to do on their laptop or desktop.
Yeah, agreed on that.
That's what I think, man. That's where I think the issue's at.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense to you,
but
that's how I feel about it. And I live here in Silicon Valley, where it was all created. I live in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Yeah.
Apple corporate headquarters is about 20 minutes south of where I live in Cupertino. Google is 15 minutes south in Mountain View, where I live. YouTube corporate headquarters is 20 minutes north of where I live in San Bruno, California. It's all here. I grew up with it. I've seen it. I am tech savvy.
Yeah.
But I also know how to turn it off to have a real conversation like we're having here today with Keith, Eagle VP. Okay, back to you, Keith.
Yeah, because that's what I was going to say. You know, at least we can have a conversation. If you was part of the younger generation, it would be all texting, wouldn't it? You know, and which is a shame because I think people have lost the art of communicating, and I was like that because with having the video business, I was always behind the camera, and it wasn't until I started my YouTube channel, working on it just over a year ago, that I got in front of the camera, and I've become a lot more at ease now, whereas I could talk to people in the street, but not on here. But now, I'm at ease doing these interviews and meeting people, and I mean, this is all right. We had a 10-minute talk the other day. Normally, I don't even meet the people beforehand. I just go straight into the interviews. So, are you still all right? Because I know you're going live at 7 p.m. your time, which is so we've been on about.
No, I'm good. I'm good. If you want to go there 20, 30 minutes, that's no problem. Here's the thing. I don't have a scheduled stream. Yeah. I'll start my stream probably about an hour and a half or so, or 2 hours after we finish, man. So yeah, I mean, if you want to go there half hour, if that's good with you, man, let's keep it going if you'd like. I love the engagement. I love the questions you're asking, and I think this is helping a lot of people.
Yeah. Now I'm fixing on doing a live stream either this week or early next week about domestic violence on men, not on the women. So I would love to have you on the panel on that one if you've got an opinion on it, because I think that's a subject where a lot of men are domestically abused in relationships, and because they're men, they don't talk about it, and I've never seen it spoken on here. So it's a subject that I would love to, because I think live stream should be subject related, like with a lot of yours when you doing your podcast, your relationships, and everything like that. I found those very, very interesting because, as I've said, I've watched about 60% of your videos in the last 2 or 3 days since I contacted you. And because that is your uh, sphere of knowledge, it's worth tapping into on a live stream. Because another one that I'm doing is I'm all because I'm 68. I'm not pushing the age, but I'm fascinated with the beliefs in death because that's another subject that people don't talk about, and you see a lot of young people die in accidents or die from cancer or whatever like that, and you see a lot of things on Facebook where the parents are asking for donations so they can bury the child. And whereas in my day, we took out insurance policies, or as they are now, death policies. So that's another subject for another day that I would love to discuss with you.
Yes. You see, may I jump in here for 1 second?
Yeah.
And compliment you on what you just not only said but did. Look what's happening here. I met Keith, aka also known as Eagle VP, through hashtag I'm a creator, which I guess you kind of say I'm kind of bashing at the same time. So why am I still working with some of the people from that community? Because some of the people from that community are doing the right thing. I have no problem with the people that are networking through I Am a Creator. My problem is that the leadership needs to be better, needs to hold people more accountable, needs to be more strict and say, look, we don't do this, this, and that. And they're kind of saying it, but they're not saying it to the point of where it's getting through to the people. Okay? If you do exactly what Keith and myself are doing, like we're talking about future collaboration here on his interview with me. And the reason why we're doing that is we want to show you folks that you can do this too. And if you do this and focus more time on this than going on the James Cox's streams and riding his coattails and sitting on the stream with James Cox for 8 hours about regarding people getting, come get your 5 minutes of fame and let's roll the numbers. Let's roll the numbers here. Okay, you were at 965 before. Let's roll. Now you're at 1,005. Next thing you know, you gain 30, 40 subscribers, supporters, whatever you want to call them. Then the next day you lose half of them because they unsubscribe from you. And I think what's happening there is that there are people that artificially boosting your subscribe numbers while you're on your 5 minutes of fame to make James Cox look better. And then they remove their subscription like either the next day or 2 or 3 hours later. Because you're only allowed to subscribe to a certain amount of people per day and a maximum overall dependent on your channel growth. So this is a game, folks. This is a game, folks, and you really need to see this. And again, that's why we're doing what we're doing here. It's like, look, yes, Keith is interviewing me, but I want to bring more value. I'm not here just talking about myself. Have you heard me even talk about my coaching business a little bit? You know who I am. I'm here to more so support you folks. And that's what you need to do. You need to focus more time on supporting others and their vision and mission, and then your time will come. Because the more you focus on yourself, it's going to eventually implode and you're going to lose everything. James Cox, 100% focuses on himself, and I Am a Creator, which is his thing on his channel. It's all about him.
Yeah,
I thinking about other people, then it would change. But go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, I fully agree with you on there. You know, there's more happiness in giving. So if you can give of yourself to other people, then your channel will grow, because that's what life's about. If you help people, and you don't ask for any money or anything back, then people will give freely. And that's a philosophy I have always lived under. That if I was monetized like I used to be, then, I didn't do YouTube for the money. I did it because I want to see what I create get a few comments and get a few views, because that's what it's about. It's about that you create something or you do a live stream And if you get people in the chat and they are getting to know each other, they're getting to know you, they're getting to know me, that's what it's about. Because then your channel will grow with true followers, true supporters, because they've got to get to know you, they've got to know me, and by looking at in the chat, we're getting to know those people because you get their opinions, and it's about showing love. I'm a very religious guy. I would love to talk about religion on it, but I never talk about politics or religion because you never get mixed up in those because they can cause a lot of problems. So, and I heard on one of your live streams that you were brought up in the Greek Orthodox religion, weren't you, or something like that, if I remember right.
Yes, I'm Greek Orthodox. It's basically similar to the Christian and Catholic religion, but the bottom line is we believe in the same God. And you know what I say about that, Keith? I don't project any of my religious and political views on anyone. I do mention what I stand for, what I believe in, but I still love people despite their beliefs as long as they're good people. So yes, I do believe in God, and I'm a God-loving man. But whether other people believe or not, I don't hold that against them. But I do know that most people do believe. So there's a lot to relate to with people in that way, and I think a stream on that would be great.
Yeah, because I used to follow the Grim Reaper and Mel, and they got into some brilliant discussions on their live streams. You really enjoyed it. I mean, if you don't know about Mel, it is a channel from Brooklyn, New York, and he goes on live streams usually every day of the week for about half an hour talking about different subjects. He works in the cathedral in New York. I don't know which one, in Brooklyn or something. He's not a vicar. He just works there, but he has some brilliant conversations on his channel. So I recommend Mel to anybody who's on there, and I hope you're all supporting each other because that's what this is all about. Love to get Pauline up to 1,000. Love to get the Midnight Raven up to 1,000. Jeanette, we got there. Jeanette's gone. She's growing at a fantastic pace. Jeanette Pickering, her channel, she's up to 1,155 now. She'll soon be catching me up, and hopefully, I'd love to see you reach that 2K in the next month as well, which I think is entirely possible. When you are live streaming like you are, you will get more and more people in, and I push your channel a lot to people who I talk to privately and everything. So hopefully within a few months, in the next 4 weeks, hopefully you'll get there because your channel is still growing.
Right, and Keith, let me mention something real quick here that I found out yesterday while I was on a live stream. I follow the Creator Insider channel.
Yeah,
so
hold on.
Okay?
Yeah, I just want to say hello to James Cox. Nice to have you in, James.
James Cox is in the house. James Cox is in the house. Amen, brother. James Cox. Hashtag I am the greatest. Hashtag I am a creator. Hashtag I'm a creator, buddy. Okay, enough for that. Sorry, I get a little excited here.
Yeah, James.
Welcome, James.
Yeah, welcome, James, to my channel. So I would love to have you on My Time with Gramps, James, if you will consent to doing that sometime in the future, because that's where you get to know each other, and that's why I invited Coach Eli on, because I met Coach Eli through your community, the hashtag I am a creator community. I've made friends with him. I enjoy his content. I enjoy his channel like I enjoy your content. So, there's no animosity here in this channel at all. And whoever will come on, you're all welcome to be interviewed by me. I'm an old man. I am a bit tech savvy, not all that much, but I'm still learning. So I'd appreciate you coming on sometime, James, just to have a natter, so I can get to know you a bit better, because you're from not far from where, because I'm in Cleethorpes in Lincolnshire, and you were from Yorkshire or Maltby area, I think. I picked up on one of your live streams. So I'd love to talk to you about the time you was in the UK before you went over to the States. So that's all I'm saying on that. Sorry about that, but I do enjoy your. Yes, we can do that. I'll best to do it on a Thursday, Friday. Yeah, yeah. I'll get in touch with you then, James, through Twitter, and we'll arrange that because I'd love to do that. But there's no calling any channels or anything on here. This is all about collabing and getting to know each other, and we've all got to know Coach Eli a bit tonight. So, is there anything you want to say, Coach?
Regarding James Cox, or regarding anything in general?
Yeah, but have you enjoyed yourself on my channel? Because I'd like your opinion on how I've conducted myself.
Yeah, no, your channel is amazing, and here's the thing: what we're doing here is what everyone should be doing through hashtag I am a creator, but they need to be held accountable for it. And that's going to start with someone like James, who's here right now, and maybe he'll take a page out of my book. We can all learn from each other, James. You know what? I'm a leader. You're a leader. We have different leadership skills, but if we come together, we can create something amazing. It shouldn't be about bashing people back and forth. But the bottom line is that for me, accountability is key, and accountability starts within yourself. You have to start by holding yourself accountable, and then if you have a message to put out there and you want to put it out there in the right way, you have to hold others accountable. If I get people coming into my channel and they push the boundaries far above and beyond what I want there, they get warned, and if they keep on pushing the boundaries beyond a reasonable level, then they get blocked and banned. I call people out. I'm not afraid to call people out, and that's what I feel is the difference that I see is not happening over at hashtag I'm a creator. I think there needs to be greater accountability, and I think there needs to be more support from you, James, and other moderators to go to other people's channels and support them based on their channel's message, not going out there and promoting I am a creator. I am a creator is your thing, James. When you have guys like SP Entertainment that run a stream right after you run a stream that you promote, say, hey, all right, go over to Steve's channel on SP Entertainment. He's going to do a hashtag I'm a creator after party where you're going to go over there and further your network. That has nothing to do with his channel, James Cox. Steve's channel is a gaming and vlogging channel. And the more he does I am a creator stuff on his channel, the more it detracts from the actual purpose of his channel. So we need to focus more on helping people based on their channel's message, not yours. They can promote your message every now and then, but they don't have to make every stream or every video they do about hashtag I'm a creator. I saw people like Marcel Harding 5, who changed his name to Marcel's painting channel, I think is what it's called now. We've patched things up. He used to use hashtag I'm a creator at the beginning of every single one of his videos. Why? Because he was trying to get traction based on that searchable hashtag. But what did that do? That didn't help Marcel. That helped James more. It helped the I'm a creator community, which is James. James, that's your thing. And you know what? I'm happy that you're growing something. But if you truly want to help people, you need to focus more on their message and quit forcing them to promote yours. Because whether you think you're forcing people to promote your message or not, you are. You need to watch the replays of your videos, your live streams, and understand that when you say, hey, you know what, donate, that way I can actually do this full time, tweet this out to everyone, hashtag I'm a create-a-thon. Every time you have them do that, they're promoting you. They're promoting you. Yes, they might get a little traction, but where does everybody go, James? They go to your channel. You're monetized. You get monetized views. You get all the super chats. You get everything. You get all the watch time, which you don't need because you're already monetized. It works for you, James, and I'm happy for you that this is working. But if you truly want to help people, you have to focus more on who they are as a YouTuber, not force them to drink the Kool-Aid and actually promote you all the time. Hashtag I'm a creator is yours, James Cox. You're the leader. You're the founder. That's who you are. No problem with people supporting you half the time or 1/3 the time, but the other half or 2/3 the time, they need to focus on creating engaging content based on their channel's purpose and genre. And that is not happening. It's all about I am a creator this, I am a creator buddy, I am a creator, I am the greatest, I am this and that. Hashtag this and that. Spam, spam, spam. It's all about spam. Spam. Let's spam some more. Back to you.
Okay, Coach Eli. It's now 20 to 11 here, so I think I'm going to wrap this up, if you don't mind, tonight.
Absolutely.
Because I've been up since, I think, 5 o'clock this morning, so I'm getting a bit tired. I've really enjoyed talking to you and getting to know you. I'm going to come on yours, whenever you're live. I appreciate everybody in the chat. What's that? How is it forced? Explain that. James has put a comment in there if you want to reply to that, Eli.
I don't need to say the same thing I just said. Okay? You're basically telling people to tweet out hashtag I'm a creator, hashtag I'm a creator buddy, hashtag awesome sauce, hashtag I am this. Those are your hashtags, James. Every time they tweet that out, you get exposure. You get exposure. We need to focus more on helping other people with their vision and their message. Your message. You are the creator of hashtag I'm a creator. It's your channel. It's what you're doing. If we're going to truly support people beyond subscribing to one another, we need to focus more on going to their channels for the content that they are creating and watching their content because we enjoy it, not because we want to give people artificial watch time to qualify for YouTube's new terms and conditions for the YouTube Partner Program. I've already qualified long ago, organically, okay? That's all I'm saying. Say whatever you want to say, James. I mean, look, I don't have a problem with who you are, man. I just don't think the system that you're putting out there is going to work. And eventually, it's all going to implode. Mark my words, it's going to implode one way or another. That's all I have to say. That's it.
Okay, as I said, I'm going to wrap it up. I appreciate everybody in and leaving your comments. Sorry I've ignored most of the comments. And hope to see you on next week's Time with Gramps. I forget who I'm interviewing. I've got about 5-6 people lined up. And Coach Eli is going to, I want you to explain, please explain how it forced you have not explained. James, someone's done that to James. You'll have to go over to Eli's to get him to answer that because I don't want any drama on mine. Coach Eli has been brilliant on my channel tonight. I've really appreciated that.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Keith, but I'm looking back now and all of James Cox's messages have been deleted. Did somebody ban James?
Yeah, Donny Shaw show, I think. Yeah, so
he banned James Cox.
Yeah. So I'm going to finish the stream.
Why would you ban James Cox?
So I don't know. He's a moderator, so he's done it. So okay. I do apologise for that, James. That Donny Shaw shows timed you out, but I still think you and Eli should get things sorted out because you're both leaders. You've both got great ideas, and I follow both of you. I am still part of the hashtag I am a creator community because I've met many good people on there, Coach, like I have on yours. So as I say, I'm wrapping this up. So bye everybody.